Good night.
Morning,
Sleep well.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheikh. Today I want to talk calling.
Good morning. Nice to meet you, Orange Cheek.
How
What are you hoping to learn about today? Huh, nice one.
what
Got you laughing there.
what does the word sorry mean in everyday use?
You're asking about the word sorry, right? It basically means you feel bad about something you did or about something that happened to someone else. People use it for things like bumping into each other when they realize they messed up. What made you curious about it?
From which language does the word sorry originate?
You're wondering about the origin of sorry? From which language did it come? It actually has a pretty interesting history.
What
Sorry comes from Old English. It's the original word was sorry, which meant troubled or grieved. It eventually evolved to express regret or apology. Does that background give you a better sense of it?
what is the meaning of the Old English Urdu string?
I think you might be asking about the Old English word for sorry, the root of sorry we just talked about. The original Old English words alar meant wound or
What
pain. Think about it this way: being sorry started with feeling actual pain about something, whether physical or emotional. Then it shifted to feeling grief or regret. Pretty cool, huh?
How was the word sorry originally related to emotions?
So, you want to dig into how sorry got tangled up with feelings in the first place? Well, the Old English root sarar meant pain. Think of a wound or hurting physically. Over time, people started using it to describe emotional pain too. Like if someone was in trouble or something bad happened, they were described as being in sarar. So, sorry. Start as physical pain, then became a way to talk about any kind of hurting, emotional, regretful, you name it. That connection to something tangible makes sense to me, at least. What do you think about that shift?
How did the meaning
I
of
didn't quite
story
catch that.
change
What were you
over
asking?
time?
You mean like how did the story of sorry change over time? The move from just meaning wound to actually meaning regret took centuries. It wasn't instant. People started using sorry to talk about feeling sorrow, feeling bad for someone who was hurt. Then eventually it shifted to feeling bad about things you did to others. It happened over and over where emotions got tied to this feeling of being pained or wounded. So the word itself kind of grew into this expression of deeper feeling. It didn't just flip overnight. Does that make sense?
Why is apology important in human relationships?
It's an interesting question. I'm not quite sure, but are you asking about the connection between applause and women's relationships? Or are you trying to ask something else entirely?
How can saying sorry help yourself conflict?
Okay, you're asking about how siblings can resolve conflicts. It's tough because family dynamics can be complex, but a few things usually help. First, just really hearing each other out without interrupting. Second, finding common ground. What do you both want from the situation? And third, being willing to apologize when you're wrong, even if it feels hard. What usually happens when you and your
Role
siblings
does
disagree?
apology play in building trust?
Okay. Well, it sounds like you were talking about what helps build trust between siblings. So building trust is key to keeping the peace.
What role does apology play in building trust? How is apology expressed in the English language? Name one word for apology in Urdu.
Yeah, you're asking about apologies. How important are they for building trust? And what's the original English word for apology? Apologies are huge for trust because they show you understand you messed up and care about the other person's feelings. As for the original English word, it's tricky. Apology comes from the Okay, I'm getting a little lost here. Could you maybe try rephrasing what you're asking?
Or how is apology expressed in English Urdu language?
I'm still a bit confused. You're asking about how the word for apology works in different languages like Persian, Spanish, and English?
How name name one word for apology in Urdu?
Wait, I think you're asking for one Urdu word that means sorry or apology? The Urdu word for apology is maaf karna. It's a bit different than how we say it in English, but that's the main word they use.
How do different culture express apology differently?
That's a really interesting question. Different cultures handle apologies in pretty different ways. In some Asian cultures, like Japan, a really deep bow and being quiet is a common way to say sorry. It's more about showing respect through posture than using words. In Spain, sometimes people won't actually say sorry directly, but they might focus on making amends, like fixing what was wrong rather than just apologizing for it. Germany tends to be pretty direct about apologies. Americans tend to overuse sorry, even for things that aren't their fault. Does any of that surprise you?
How, how do different culture express apology? Why was apologizing confidence out in accident societies?
I think you're asking how different cultures approach building confidence.
How do different culture express? Why was apologizing considered harmful in accident societies?
Let me check that for you. So, cultures handle confidence really differently. In places like the US, being assertive and proud of your achievements is seen as confidence, while in cultures more focused on the group, confidence comes from harmony and contributing to others. Even simple things like eye contact and how you use your voice change. In the West, direct eye contact shows confidence, but in Asia, it can seem rude, according to sources like daijikeys.com.
How? Wow. Wait. What,
Yeah,
what
it's pretty
physical, what
fascinating
physical
how
benefits does applauding provide? Where do some people hesitate to say sorry?
hmm, you're asking about the benefits of apologizing and where people get hung up on it. A good apology can rebuild trust, show empathy, like those basic human connection things. But some people hesitate for a few reasons. They worry it makes them seem weak. They're scared of admitting they were wrong. Or sometimes they've grown up being taught to avoid apologizing at all costs. What makes you curious about this?
Where do some people hesitate to sorry?
You mean some of the same types of people who struggle to say sorry might also struggle with confidence? Yeah, that makes sense. It's all about how you see yourself. If you're uncomfortable admitting weakness or being vulnerable, that might show up in avoiding both apologies and showing confidence in the first place. They're kind of two sides of the same coin, right?
No? Where do some people hesitate what makes an apology consist?
I'm not sure I caught all of that. What are you trying to ask about?
Where the same people have to say sorry.
Ah, so you're wondering who those people are, the ones who have a hard time apologizing? It varies, but usually they're people who connect their self-worth to always being right. People
Okay.
who grew
Okay.
up where vulnerability was seen as weakness, or
Wow.
people who are afraid of the potential consequences of admitting they were wrong. Sometimes it's a personality thing, like people who have high self-esteem can apologize because they don't see it as a hit to their self-worth. Can also be generational or cultural.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.